peer-reviewed medical journals are the means for disseminating new knowledge and science. Do case reports justify its publication? Because this is what the question that we have to answer. If yes, then it should be. If not, but then some journals publish no case reports. Like American Journal of Pulmonology, there is no case reports. Whereas there are some journals which publish case reports only. So then why there are two extremes? Yeah. So then why there are two extremes, these two extremes, that some journals publish only case reports, some don't publish at all. Now first let us see what are the purpose of case reports. Case report describes and discusses an instance of disease in a patient. The essential characteristics of a publishable case report is educational value. So if there is something new, some educational value, then it is publishable. But while writing case reports means then you have to, because then always I used to tell everyone that in your introduction you just argue and write something like this, means like a lawyer. That why? Because the last sentence should be written, the purpose of reporting this case, this is this. So that means it should build up to that level, so that it should be obvious that this case report should be published and publishable. And writing case report is one of the best ways to get started in medical writing. There are little mysteries that hold readers' interest and take less time to prepare. Now it describes important scientific observations that are missed or undetectable in clinical trials. Now there are many examples in literature, like case reports linked with FDA approved anorexic agents, fenfluramine and dexfenfluramine, with primary pulmonary hypertension. This is already FDA approved. But then because of this case report, it led to trials in evaluating incidence, mechanism and risk factors, and then it was found to be not safe and it was ultimately withdrawn. So FDA approved medicine also withdrawn because of the starting point was case report. And everyone knows about the AIDS. It was the AIDS, it started with the case report of Kaposi sarcoma in a young homosexual man. And there are many examples in literature where the first line of evidence for new therapies based on case reports. And these are some of the examples. And the case reports means one thing you should realize, that for rare indications, it's very difficult to conduct with a trial with adequate sample and power, because you won't get adequate number. No drug company will come forward to participate that, to fund that, because they don't see any market after that. So therefore it's very difficult for rare indications. And just look at this, 1995 mycophenolate mofetil was approved in the United States and UK for immunosuppression after renal transplants, and 1997 off-label use were reported in pyoderma and so many conditions. So just see. So all these conditions, if based on the clinical trial, probably then it not have been possible. And thalidomide is a very good example, because we know all about thalidomide for wrong reasons. But then when I started searching literature, then I found that so many uses of thalidomide which is reported and based on observational evidence, as well as some of them leading to clinical trials, and based on that. It's all thalidomide. Now the certain side effects of drugs which are described in case reports, because the trial, the short period, small number, may not be all side effects will be evident, and it is already approved. So what is known as post-market surveillance or phase 4 trial, there you can get a lot of report, means lot of other side effects which may be evident. So and then all starting point will be case report. Suppose some medicine already approved, you are using it, you got some means little different, which is unusual complication, you report it, and then so people will come to know. And these are some of the examples. And although the case reports is not at the pinnacle of this pyramid, it falls here, case series and case reports. What are these basically? How do you do it? Means first you observe, means it has to be you observe something which is new or something different. Then you document it properly, and based on that you generate some hypothesis. So how the cycle works, that observation, documentation, hypothesis generation, and you report. If it is so good and so means it's established, maybe probably so evident that immediately it can be incorporated into clinical practice, or otherwise it may lead to some physiologic studies and clinical trial, one, too many, and if after interpretation of clinical context, if it is fitting well, then it can be incorporated into clinical practice. So the initiating point of this is the case reports. And just understand the value of case reports, that 103 reports published in Lancet, case reports published in Lancet, it was followed up after 5 years, and it was noticed that 24 reports were followed by either publication of RCT or in the registry of RCT. It means some clinical trials were going on. So out of 103, 24, which is a big percentage. And for beginners, it is opportunity to publish, easy to write, and good learning practice. The certain drawbacks of case reports, that sometimes it may also raise a false alarm. Especially like one example, the Devenox Benectidine combination of pyridoxine and doxylamine succinate marketed for morning sickness in pregnancy. Based on reports of malformation, it was withdrawn from US, but still it is available in Canada without any evidence of human teratogenicity. So sometimes it can also raise false alarm. About the case reports, the readability is definitely better by the readers than the original reports. And they are influential, because you see something, you read something, case report, and immediately you can incorporate in your practice. But they are less citable, because the maximum citation is from meta-analysis and minimum from case reports. Therefore, it reduces the impact factor, and the editors don't like to publish. Means I can assure you that even IG also will think that if we start getting enough original reports, probably will reduce the number of case reports publication. But there are also some drawback, that this is always there is a publication bias for any report. So that is true even for case reports, that 90% reporting success versus 10% reporting failure. If you do some treatment, if you get failure or some off-level treatment, and if it's failure, probably will not report it. Even if you want to report, probably the editor will not publish it. But the positive result, immediately it will be published. Therefore, the methodology is not robust like the clinical trials. And most of the once popular discarded therapies are based on case reports. And thalidomide is extreme example of primary off-label use, licensed in 1998 for treatment and prevention of erythema nodosum leprosum, extremely rare, and multiple myeloma was added in 2006. But more than 90% of the physicians who prescribed it was all off-label use. So which is the example that this is a and since it's off-label case reports, therefore it's not allowed by the company, cannot publicize it, cannot advertise. And now this is given in your printout of these slides. So there is a very good article. The reference is this. If you are writing a case report, I think you must read this article, and then there is no need to read this article. All these points are given in next 4 or 5 slides. You read whenever you are writing a case report and follow it. Probably it will be, if it will not be rejected. Okay, so this is all given in your handout. The basic guideline for writing case reports, the headings are the same: abstract, introduction, case presentation, discussion, and conclusion. And checklist, when you are writing a case report, you must, at the end you should check that abstract should summarize the whole case, introduction, rationale adequately explained and substantiated by references, that why should it be published. And case description, it has to be brief, adequate and clear. Investigations adequate with normal values for uncommon ones. And discussion, diagnosis and recommendations supported, potential issues refuted and addressed. So all this should be discussed in the discussion part. And usually what we ask questions from the author, from viewers about case report, these are the basic questions that we ask. In introduction, is the rationale for reporting the case adequately explained? Is the rationale for reporting the case adequately substantiated by references? So while writing case report, if you follow all these, probably it will not be rejected. And while describing the case, is the case described adequately? Is the case described briefly? Is the case described clearly? Are the results of investigations described adequately? are the results of less common laboratory investigations accompanied by normal values. And comments, again, is the evidence to support the author's diagnosis presented adequately? Is the evidence to support the author's recommendations presented adequately? Are other plausible explanations considered and refuted? Are the implications and relevance considered of the case discussed? And do the authors indicate directions for future investigation? In the beginning I told you that it may lead to a hypothesis generation. So have you suggested one? And finally, it has to be in a confidentiality has to be maintained. So it's the best way to do it. Either you have to take consent. If you take consent from the patient that if we are going to publish it, and if they give consent, then there is no problem later on that you are going to follow. So these things I will bypass. And finally, whenever you are reading a case report or writing a case report of yours, then you analyze your case report based on these 5 points. That whether it is unique, documentation properly, educational value, interpretation and objectivity. If all this, if you grade 1, 0, 1, 2, and then at the end you see that whether you have, and the criteria for gradation is written in the same article which I gave in your reference. So is that if the total comes to, it will be the total value, the potential value will be 0 to 10. If it's scoring 8, 9 or 10, it means it's a definitive, a good case report, publishable case report. If it is published, then it is of a very high value. If it is 7 or 8, then it means you have to take it with some, means you have to think that whether it is okay or not. If it is less than that, then it's absolutely useless.